republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justin Parker, Mitch Cottrell,
Here.
Carl Avery, Vince Cottrell, Bob Goodwin, Anthony Gordon,
Here.
Billy Joe Nicholas, Jack.
Chair will entertain a motion when you're ready. You are recorded, right? That's what this,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
motion by Jack to approve the minutes,
I'll second it.
second by Mitch. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes accepted.
I'm not gonna close it.
Miss Cindy, you're on.
I'm so glad they turned Halloween into Friday. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am.
I had nothing to do with it, but I just
know.
posted it.
Hey, I don't know what the scoop is on that, fixing the road on Sadler Street, on Freeling Street. Is there a reason
For
fixing the hole on Freeling Street?
fixing it, or
Just filling in the holes that was on Freeling Street. I think it was about 7 times I've asked for it. Is there a reason why we can't get it fixed?
I was told it's fixed.
On Freeling Street,
Yeah, I drove down there and I haven't seen no big hole you're talking about.
there's 2 holes right there in front of, used to be Grenouille's, but Ashley, or, I forget their names. Used to be Linda Grenouille's house, I'm not sure who lived, Ashley,
I don't know.
something Ashley. Right in front of Linda Grenouille's house. Just 2 big holes stood up.
Yeah, they
I
said-
waited and waited and waited to get those 2 holes.
We'll look at them tomorrow.
I sure hope it gets fixed.
We'll look at them tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for the other ones.
Did you forget? Maybe you'll remember.
well, thank you, Cindy.
Okay, honey.
Mr. Mayor report, anything from the mayor?
No, I haven't talked to him.
I mean, with the solicitor, is he coming? Do we know? I
Haven't talked to him.
haven't seen anything.
So, we expecting them?
I sent him some stuff this morning and haven't got a response from him, so.
He didn't say nothing.
I sent them 3 emails during the week and then didn't respond to you.
Bills? You need a motion to pay the bills? Do you need to speak to anything? Madam Secretary?
I know what it was.
Fraser's name into the city.
Yeah.
So do you.
Can I ask now what I need to ask, or is it too late?
Well, it is too late, but go ahead while we're waiting.
Okay, why are we having to vote down at the fire hall? Or do we?
Yeah,
Or we vote down there?
yeah.
Okay.
They said why. If you're
We
ready,
don't?
they said why, because of, safety. It says more lighted up down there, it's easier access, and there's an egress, so, I mean, that would make more sense.
Yeah,
So, it's lighted up.
but I wasn't real sure if we did. What are they doing in the, parking lot, parking garage where there'd be no parking lot?
Where?
I think that's to you, but.
Yeah, yeah. Are we having a store?
It looks
What's your
nice.
question? I don't understand.
What are
You
we
can clear it
making-
off.
clearing
I'm
it?
making a motion pass bill.
Okay, motion to pay the
A
bill.
second.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
Second. I said, motion by Jack, second by Mitch, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Pay the bills.
Secret Service.
I'm gonna jump over it. Do we want Doug here for the financial stuff of the budget?
Well, with the budget not completed, I mean, you talking about the new budget?
Well, yeah, discussion of budget, acceptance of tentative budget.
Yeah, I'm actually working on that now,
Okay.
but it's not completed yet.
Okay.
We need Doug's opinion on the timeline
Yeah.
prior to pass a budget under the borough code.
Okay, while we're waiting, then, anything from public safety, Mitch?
Yeah, he left us another one of his sheets. Looks like from last time he's done one more arrest, a couple more service calls. I'll hang this up outside, anybody wants to take a copy of it. Get ready for, he's gonna be in the parade tomorrow, we know that, so I already let him know that he had to be here. So, we're getting their car taken care of, and getting ready for that. But besides that, he's been pretty busy, so.
Let me see that.
And that's all I got for now.
You wanna speak to infrastructure?
I can get it all, yep. So, everybody sees the streets are getting done up on Schoolhouse Hill right now. They're not done all the way yet. They're gonna come in and reseal them. And then Columbia Gas and Peoples Gas gotta do their own separate streets up there. Some of them, they want to, we're in a little bit of, I guess you call it litigation with them because they wanna do half the street. And our ordinance says curb to curb, so, I've got the map on it. All the plants are shut down, I guess. They're not gonna bring any more asphalt in this year. But in the spring, they're gonna come back out, start finishing up on the hill and doing downtown here. So we're gonna make sure we try to get all of our sewer lines and water lines. I don't know if anybody's been out in Sadler, but they got that new sewer line, a new water line coming off the hill, draining all that water off. Worked out really nice before they put the road in. Really, yeah, looks great. Up by your house, I love it. First time since 1970s.
So
people
nice.
Come around the curb and not get hung up.
I love
So
it.
it's really nice.
Yes.
Mitchell, we had a question today about the seal, like
They're sealing it.
this year?
Yes.
Okay,
They're-
because she was worried whether to park her car, whether she can park her
They're
car
coming
on the
out
street now?
within the next 2 weeks and sealing all the cracks and all the seams and getting that all taken care of.
Does everybody have to move off the street again, do you know?
We'll toast it if they do, but I don't think so, no.
Okay, because these signs are still up on the telephone poles, so she was worried that she'd get towed.
We'll let it know. We'll put it on our Facebook page if we have to.
Okay,
Also, they're going to take and, when they do downtown here, we're gonna have to fight them a lot on them streets too, because they're wide streets, they're talking about half the streets, and we're not gonna accept that. And then we got, the daily operations of our plant. They did some trees and brush removal on the trail. I think it looks really good. They had their, Sheephead Trail, thing here Saturday. It was really nice, turned out really good. Everybody seemed like they had a great time. Did a bunch of one calls. We did get our fire extinguisher, test done for all the buildings. We only had one that failed, so We are gonna have to buy a new 60-pounder. Besides that, everything else about business is normal.
They delivered a fire extinguisher yesterday. It's a big one in there.
Okay, good. I'll have Dave put that away.
Mitch, all the work you did on getting these streets done, is appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Looks very nice.
You good?
They did a good job, that company.
Yeah, new sidewalks, yes. That's nice.
I don't have any sidewalks, so it's all good for me.
Code enforcement?
Code enforcement. Couple of things I, would relate, the attorney shows up, the sale of the Blosser house, it's time to sell it. So, from what research I've done, legally to sell it under Borough Code, you have a resolution, and if the value's over $6,000, you have to have a public auction or bidding process. It's under 6,000. You can do what you want, but I would like the attorney to tell us if that's an accurate reading. And I don't know,
Do you have a total figure of how much it's cost the borough to straighten this Blosser house up?
I have nothing right now, nothing right now, but I'm sure we can get you something.
I mean, you know, because surely we want to get enough back
Oh, yeah.
of what we've spent.
here we have liens against it, so that, those amounts,
Yeah, and then like, you know, lawyer fees. I mean, Doug's probably been at the courthouse how many times?
Yeah. But yeah, we can get there.
so that's one thing we need to speak to the attorney with, and, I imagine, you go to auction, you set a minimum price, you know, and people bid.
We also can, beyond selling, we can, which she already verified, we can also sell it for equal or greater value as a trade.
Trade equal or greater value.
Right. So if you, I sent everybody an email regarding that, which we do have a conversation about that we need to have later.
Another good reason for the attorney.
Yes, it is.
The other part of code, of course, we did do some work, we cited some homes. We went out and posted an unsafe structure of the 10 Euclid Street, McKinley Hill. Our engineers were up there, our code enforcement officer was up there. The property was recently sold at a free and clear sale, a judicial sale, to a company that is in Chicago. So I wouldn't expect an immediate response. We've also had two properties in this town that have been sold in the upset sale to a firm in New York City, New York. Those properties are problematic because they're not under citation. One of them is under citation right now. The other one's not under citation at the moment, but it will be. The other thing regarding code enforcement, we talked about this, I think, last meeting. So we want to suspend our sweep ordinance, and we wanted to establish a revised structure for our 2018 IPMC, International Property Maintenance Code. And I think the solicitor was going to work on the fee structure for that as it's laid out in the IPMC, which we use now. But we don't have a set fee structure in our ordinance per se. So just want to beef that up and tighten it up a little bit, and then the sweep ordinance we're not going to utilize anymore. I don't know what we have to do to get rid of that, get it off the books. I mean, we're not issuing any more sweep violations. But I don't know if we have to take it off the books. They said vacate the ordinance or what, that's another issue.
There he is.
You wanna go back?
When he's done it.
Well, I'm done, I'll let Doug settle down.
Okay.
Tell me why the lights on the bridge are blinking.
That's, we did for Halloween.
Oh, okay. I came down 119 and I'm like, okay.
They're blinking.
Yeah, they're blinking. They're blink, 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 blink. Yeah,
It's an SOS blink?
it looks like. Do I want to go to this meeting?
They were working on the bridge today, I don't know what they were doing.
So, yeah, there's another thing I need on infrastructure. We had our, meeting with, they tested our filtration system up at our plant, which got a really good report back on it. And then, we had the company who does our tanks up there at the plant, they come out and did an evaluation on them, you know they're gonna find stuff. So, they got $300,000 worth of stuff, but right now is the perfect time to get it done. And there is grants out there. I got, Wendy working with Art Capella and another grant writer, so he says it's the perfect time to get this taken
You're
care
on
of.
the inside of the tank.
Yes, redo the whole glass line, the tank, get it all done, and there is money out there especially for that stuff.
Wow.
So that's a plus on that. We got Julia working a lot on these, lead and, copper pipes that are going into the houses. Should've been done last year, just couldn't get all this stuff done. She's taking it over and getting into a rabbit hole, right, Julie? Pretty deep.
Well, most recently, we have the spreadsheet completed. There's a section of it that has like 8 documents that are not complete. That's what I'm working on now. We sent that initial spreadsheet that's this long, okay? They reported back and said it's the incorrect spreadsheet, which it is not the incorrect. If you go to the Environmental Protection Agency website, it's the same spreadsheet that I was told to populate.
Okay.
So I don't know what the disconnect is. They're saying that it won't upload to the Dweller, DWPLR website, which I'm not even sure what that is.
Does that anything to do with the DEP? I mean, can we find this answer out on Friday?
I'm gonna work on it. I'm not sure what the problem is. I'll see. I think
John
one of these
Thomas made me
documents. Yeah, I don't know. I've gotta find out what the problem is on their end first, 'cause, I mean, I did work hours and hours on the spreadsheet. It's the same one that's on the EPA website, so it can't be an incorrect one, so.
And when you got some grants going on with the, what did they say about, what kind of grant was that for the 300,000?
Yeah, I was gonna go for I call it cabbage, but it's block grant. But we've already put in for a block grant for the meters. So, Art Capella suggested, he called me today and he suggested that we go for the statewide LSA grant. It is non-matching, so it would be a total grant to get that done. It's $309,000, because our tank up there is 36 years old. So, yeah, so he said for me to reach out to him, he would, look over everything. And then I have help from Eric, he said he would help me, so.
That's not bad,
It's looking pretty good.
36 years old, and only 5 bullet holes?
Yeah, I know. So,
You're dealing with that.
I'm very optimistic.
That's the right thing. He's good.
Art Capella?
Yeah.
Oh, you need it, yeah.
Julie, anything you need from the guys, just get a hold of them, tell them
Or
for this lead and copper.
I'm gonna meet with them tomorrow. I'm gonna be right by him, right next to him,
Sounds good.
so they can do what they need to for them.
Do we have any lead? Right?
That, we've been doing the tests at the house, and that's what we gotta fill out. She's working on this. As of right now, it's all
House by house.
house by house, but it's still all kind of like, I'm gonna say, Chinese, because I can't understand it. And it's
It's not, it's detailed,
very detailed.
because if you're making a determination whether a line has lead in it or not, they wanna make sure that you know what you're talking about, and how you've made that determination. So there's like 5 or 6 ways you can make that determination. And when you say you made it by this determination, well, we want further information as to why you're using that and where did you get that information from. So it's like you're connecting a lot of dots. to ensure that when you say the line doesn't have lead in it, it definitely doesn't have lead in it.
I mean, the easy
But
thing
there's
is to make, the easy thing is to make water for the house. The hard thing is the paperwork they want.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they don't care about the water, they care about that paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
Because bottom line, you're gonna say whether it does or does not have lead, so.
Thank you.
Ready for me?
Yep.
Okay, the 3 liens are done. I didn't bring copies today. Joanne got those finished, so I will have those. I'll get those to you.
Please.
So, those, since that's what Jack gave me last week, or 2 weeks ago, those are done. I don't know why you wrote that in there, but I have that on my stuff. Jack, this is what we adopted in 2021 for the International Property Maintenance Code. I don't know if this helps you, or if you need to amend that.
No, I have a copy of this.
What's that?
I have a copy of
Do
this.
you wanna amend that?
Yeah. So what we don't have is a fee schedule.
Okay.
So
So,
references, these are things, references that we're supposed to insert into the code.
right,
But we never, as far as I can tell, inserted a fee schedule.
Okay.
Because we wanna,
and we might not have, do you have a copy of the fee schedule?
no, I don't have.
I don't think we have one.
No, we've never had it.
It's always been for the sweep board.
If it's not there, then we don't have it.
Right.
So, that's why I got that for you, that's what I have in my, what I wanna say, Word files for what we did in 2021.
Right.
We adopted the International Property Maintenance Code and we added those things. But if the fee schedule would need to be in there, then that's all we adopted. So if we want to, I can I can advertise it again as an amendment to the International Property Maintenance Code, adding a fee schedule, but I need to know what you want to, how much you want to do for things, if that makes sense. Fees for, X amount of money for this, Y for this, et cetera, et cetera. So that was my first step to see if you needed me to redo anything there. If not, we can then just add a fee schedule to that, but I need that schedule. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't know if you had one or.
No.
Would recommend one or.
No, and that's a good question.
Or if we did
'Cause-
one back in the day.
No, we didn't, and I realized that was before you were on council that we had, you can take a look at that, that's perfectly,
You got copies?
Yeah, I do.
so you can have that, I have it on my computer, so take a look, absolutely take a look at it, so. I don't have one, what I can do is I can look for one, and then we can pass it around and see if we're, whatever we wanna agree upon, to say, yeah, we'll do this, we wanna change that, et cetera. But so we do have it, we have it filled out, we just don't have a fee schedule, so I wanted to make certain you saw that before I did anything else to see if that had satisfied any of the things you were asking about.
The other thing was the question about what to do with our sweep ordinance, to formally vacate it, or we stopped writing citations.
Yeah. Well, that goes to issue number 2, or the next thing, because here is an ordinance formally vacating the sweep ordinance that says, I wanted to bring this to, it says that we previously passed the sweep ordinance, and that, as, does hereby vacate the ordinance that is the sweep ordinance. And so this is my draft for that. I wanted you guys to see it first before I advertised it in the newspaper.
So to vacate, what you're saying, to vacate it, we have to post, we have to.
Yeah, I have to do that. I have to-
Formally do that.
Yep,
Pay money.
I know, pain in the butt, right?
Pay money for the.
Yeah, we could just not use it anymore, but to formally vacate it, we have to do it by ordinance.
Don't you think that would be the thing to do?
Yeah, it's the best thing to do would be to formally vacate it if we're not gonna use it anymore. Hypothetically, I suppose we could just not use it, but it's probably the best thing to do, so.
Do you wanna see this, Joe? Yeah, we're not issuing anymore.
Yeah. Was that on the minutes to
Maybe
vacate?
have to drop this.
Yeah, it was.
No, we
No,
have
we're gonna have to.
post it, and then drop it.
And okay, did we vote for me to advertise that last month, last meeting, I don't remember.
No, but they said you're in the
Yeah, so here it is, and it just says we're going to, vacate it, so I will need a vote to advertise that.
Wanna do it now?
No, I'm gonna do it right there, yeah, if you want to, that'd be
Get it
fine,
out of the way.
that's perfectly fine,
Yeah.
so make that motion to,
I'll make a motion to post the ordinance to vacate the sweep ordinance.
I'll second.
Motion by Anthony, second by Jack. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
Always done.
Good.
We ain't gotta come back and, no.
Alright, we talked about the International Property Maintenance Code. Jack, I haven't, you asked me how much was owed for, Big K. I don't have that information yet, but I can just email that to you. Yeah, you used for the November 20th hearing. You wanted to know how much was they had in liens they had.
Oh,
Don't remember.
like a cumulative thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I could just email that to you if you're okay with that.
We discussed earlier, just before you came in, one of the items on the list was about selling the Blossom.
Okay. What we need to do is we'll have to advertise that. If we want to do that, we could accept, like, we can accept bids and say, if you want to buy the Blossom House, just give us an amount, we would buy it for. It's sort of like if we were gonna pave a street, it's sort of like that same idea is what we need to do.
So we go to an auction house?
Could do that too, absolutely.
This cost also wants an itemized.
Before it gets cold.
Yeah, how much money have we invested in this Blosser house?
Not too much. Most of it is just my fees for whatever.
Going to the courthouse and
Yeah.
found liens and,
And what happens is that I charge the borough municipal rate, so it's actually less than my personal rate. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's here nor there.
well, at one meeting, it was brought up, there was a bid of $9,000 to clean it out. Was it cleaned out or just
Yes,
left?
it was cleaned out, but we got somebody to do it for 4,000.
Oh, so that would be a cost.
fee, yes, and we had, I think $2,500 to take all the, $2,000 to take all the ivy off of it when it was first.
2,000 to take the ivy off?
I'd say
Did you
for
see the house?
me,
Yeah.
less than,
Okay, yeah.
I'd say probably good faith estimate, just here sitting, not a time difference.
So you would want
Less than
It
$1,000.
all
was
these
pretty
costs
bad.
we
It
should
was pretty
get
bad.
back.
That's the.
But 2, 3?
Because that's
What is
taxpayers'
it, 2?
dollars.
We had said that we could borrow, but also trade the equal value.
It's a little steep, but
Greater value.
have a tree cut
I think we can too.
We need, I don't know if we
Yeah.
can do it now or is it in session, but we.
You mean you're gonna trade
We
that
have a deal
Blosser
on
house
paper.
to somebody else? That's not
Um,
fair to the other residents if you're just gonna trade it with
Yeah,
one
right.
person. It should be, anybody in this town should be allowed, or any place should be allowed to buy that.
Before, we haven't made a decision on anything yet. I didn't know about that until Anthony brought it up, so. But we haven't made a decision on anything yet, what we're gonna do with the Blossom House.
We have liens against the block.
Yeah.
For the weed removal, for boarding it up.
Cutting the grass.
Cutting the grass, probably some water from when the fellow died like 5 years ago. So those liens would be filed with the secretary's office, and then we have current costs, like we had the cleanup costs. We put all those together, and that's how much money we have in it. Not counting.
I'm just
aggregation.
calling Joe
We're
Powell
not
and set a
counting.
reserve at like 15,000 or whatever.
Or something like
Yeah.
that. And that's something we could do. So I don't think council has made a decision yet about what they want to do. There's different options on the table, but at least we now own it after the taking action, and we can then try to recoup our losses and have an eyesore that looks better.
I don't think it's fair though, that
I
you swamp
spoke
it.
to, I spoke to Tammy
question
Stenson
is, though,
today. Tammy
is it even
is,
worth
she works for,
what was invested in it?
Tammy is, but she works for McMillan Engineering, and I
Something
asked her
under the
about the
table.
permit fees, and I said,
I
Marion
already heard.
would like to engage, would like to have a percentage
Yeah.
of the permitting fees to go back to the borough. And she told me that's not a problem. I said, I said, what do you need for me to do? And she said, well, whatever you would need to do, whatever you need to do at a meeting, all I gotta do is just tell her that we wanna do that. What I wanna do is put that on the agenda next meeting so that we can do like a resolution, say the borough wants to, have fees paid back to the borough for, whenever someone gets a permitting fee. She told me some different things. She said that different boroughs are doing different things. Some are doing flat fees of like $25, others take 20%. What she's seen is some places have litigated it that you can't double fees. Like for example, she saw that in Washington County, and I didn't even ask her about this, she brought this up herself, in Washington County, that if the borough's charging and the municipality's charging, the judges there are not allowing double fees. So just some food for thought, but they would allow us, but she would, I told her I'd give her a resolution or something along those lines. So if we wanna do a percentage, if we wanna do a flat fee, and the other thing she told me is a lot of the municipalities are only charging for commercial as opposed to residential, so if someone's doing something residential, they're not charging a fee, only for commercial. I don't know what you guys wanna do, I just wanted to throw that at you, see what you think about it, whether you wanna do commercial, whether you wanna do residential and commercial, whether you wanna do a flat fee, whether you wanna do a percentage fee, that's up to you guys. Let me know, I can, you okay? Okay. I thought Anthony was hitting the table with his shoe or something, like,
He's still doing socks.
I think we're gonna have a difference in opinion
Me too.
between some of us. Because, you know, I don't wanna rely on McMillan or anybody else to cut me back $10. I don't wanna do that. Because I don't think it'll happen, it won't happen, I don't think it'll be consistent. I've seen it happen too many times. What I would like for us to do is us to issue, and I said this many times, is if someone comes in here and they want to do something, right? And I don't care if it's a nominal fee of $10, whatever it may be, but they have to get that from us first. They take that, then they go to McMillan and get their permit. That's the way it should be done, because it gives us our money and ensures that we get that little bitty fee right now before anything else. So if they decide to go to McMillan and they decide that, well, this permit's gonna be this and this, and we don't wanna do it, well, we already got our money. I ain't gotta worry about them. But we're not taking any, we're still requiring them, so to speak, to go to McMillan and to get that permit. There's nothing there that we're saying that you're gonna take this and you're gonna do your job. You're gonna still go over there and get it, but we're gonna get our fee of whatever it may be, whatever, $10, $25, whatever the case it is. And I think it should be based solely on the parameter of their job. So, you know, if they're gonna put a roof on a house, it's a flat fee. If they're gonna build a house, then that's another fee. You know, it should be a little bit more of a fee. That's how I've seen, that's how I have always seen boroughs that I deal with do that, and it works very well.
Anthony, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. Here's what the problem is. We don't do our own zoning or our planning. And so what happens is that if we did that ourselves, then we could absolutely do what you would like, what you're suggesting. We could issue our own permits and do our own. But we've elected as a borough to do our own, to not do our own zoning and planning, to have the county do it. And so as part of that is, we've elected to have McMillan Engineering do our permitting. And so we would have the right, if we wanted to do our own planning and zoning, to collect fees and things like that. But what I humbly suggest is that we're gonna get ourselves in trouble if we're gonna collect double fees, because what's happened is we've already said that the county of Fayette has to do our zoning and planning, and they're the ones that are gonna have to do our fees. Now, if we wanna collect our own fees and things like that, then we're gonna have to look into doing our own planning and zoning, and I don't think we wanna do that. We don't have the capacity or the ability to do that. Now, it's, again, the council could do whatever they wish, but it's.
I understand what you're saying. I wanna just really disagree with that premise, because I know of counties and boroughs that the borough does not do their zoning, does not do their planning, does not do their engineering, does not do anything, but they do exactly what I'm talking about. And I've paid it.
Okay.
I know that they did.
My humble opinion is that we can't double. It's got, like I said, council can do whatever they decide they want to do. But in my legal opinion is that we have to go with what we decided to do. And if we're gonna let the county do our planning and zoning, then we're gonna have to go through that process. And if we wanna do our own, then it's my humble opinion that it's gonna have to be in a way where if we're gonna do it ourselves, we're gonna have to do the whole thing ourselves, because we're gonna just set ourselves up for litigation. And someone's gonna say you're double dipping. So.
But we can't put it an administrative fee on the permits that McMillan,
Absolutely,
that
yes.
McMillan issues, but that's never gonna amount to any money unless someone comes in and puts in a, $2 million
That's,
development.
you're right, you're
Now,
exactly right.
And even then, I don't know how much money to bring in, cause I don't know what you would charge an
Well, I'm gonna
administrative fee
keep
for
having
these
Anthony
little
yell at me
permits.
when I get on to the next
These
stuff,
little
so.
sections,
Anthony, he's gonna be mad at me tonight, so.
Well, I'm not gonna ask you. And let me give you an example. Let me give you another example. McMillan regulates the building code, right? That's it. And that's great for somebody that's gonna build a brand new building or whatever the case may be. That's fantastic. Perfect example, Big K place over here. They issued them whatever they did, but they failed to do any kind of environmental regulation on them. Well, our permit that we could put in place would have that already in place. Did you do this? A pre-check is what I'm looking to do. Did you do the environmental issues that you need to do? No? Well, we can't give you a permit. So you can't get a permit from us, you can't get a permit from them, because they're not gonna do it. And I've talked to them, and they're not gonna do it. They don't do that kind of stuff. And we have old buildings here. You know, if I go down here, what's that building? No, thank you. If I go down and tear the Capelli building down, which it's gonna happen, right? I should be required to follow all guidelines of federal and state regulations. Well, the only thing they're gonna do is say, okay, here's a demo permit. That's it. Meanwhile, if I don't follow those regulations, it puts all the residents in my town at risk for whatever's in that building. And I know things that's in that building. So this is a reason why we need to have more of a firsthand in it. Does that make sense?
And if we wanna go that direction, we're gonna have to do our own stuff. That's just,
I'm not opposed to that either.
yeah, if that's, in Spring Hill Township does their own zoning, if we wanted to, we could do our own zoning. South Union Township does their own zoning, Manalapan, Uniontown, Connellsville, that's something we would almost have to do if we wanted to have control here. We would need to do that. So, anyway, moving on, I also have, I have here the, many trees here that I unfortunately printed out, that for the posting and bonding procedures for municipal highways within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And we had talked before about the need to to bond and post our roads, because the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania says that municipalities are permitted to post roads and they're permitted to bond roads. But what happens is so procedurally, we could post the road. So if we have a road, let's say someone's driving, I don't know, some type of oil truck down it. So we have a road and it's getting tore up. We could post that road, and then we could have an ordinance that would require these people to bond the road, and if they destroy the road, we could use the bond to fix our roads. Which I think is a good thing. I have sample ordinances and everything. The problem is that the requirements, it requires a traffic study beforehand. I looked at the statute, I looked at everything from PennDOT, I can't find anything that doesn't not say that we can do it without the traffic study, because we have to prove the fact that it needs to have a weight limit and it needs to be bonded. It's the same as sort of like if we condemn a house, we need to have the engineer involved to say it is in fact condemnable. So I'm ready to go, I have sample ordinances, we can post roads. Here is the manual that PennDOT puts out, but it requires a study to determine whether in fact what the weight limit should be on certain roads.
Don't our roads already have a weight limit up there?
I have no idea.
I think they do.
There is a weight limit. I know for a fact that right before you go past the garage there, going like toward the park, there's a 10-ton weight limit there.
Most of them are. So, I mean, they should already have that posted, and we should check with PennDOT and find out if we need to.
Yeah, and if they do have it posted, if we know that already. Now, we're talking about borough roads as opposed, we can't do anything with 119, that's a state road, or a US road. But if we have a, I don't know, the road to the park, if it actually has a weight limit on it already, and we know that, and we can find that out, then we could do the procedure where
My
we
street used
post
to have a
the,
sign.
weight limit, and then we could require bonding. There's different things, there's copies of applications, there's copies of permits, there's copies of ordinances, everything we need to go through this. So I have the Bible about how to do it, but the question now becomes is, do we in fact have weight limits on these roads? Has this happened already? If we don't, we have to have some kind of engineering to base it on.
Alright, so now, you're saying about the weight limit.
Yeah.
So how about no through truck traffic? Are we allowed to put them up?
I think we can.
And how do we, what would we
But
base
now,
that
I
on?
wanna verify that 100%, because,
What do we base that on?
Yeah.
Because we got tractor trailers turning and trying to go down, you know.
yeah,
Rodman Street.
I know,
Yeah.
really? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I know that we can make, traffic control decisions for borough roads. I wanna cite the statute before we do anything like that, but I think we probably could do something like that.
You had all them big trucks go down there for the factory.
Is it,
We're talking about this.
is it reasonable to assume that those roads already have, or whatever roads they already have posted weight limit signs, which I know there is some, this study had already been done by someone, or not
Yeah,
PennDOT.
I would think it would be
itself.
reasonable.
I knew what you were saying, because they said before we could put the signs up, I talked to Nick, he said we have to have a study.
Yeah.
And he said, if we could check with PennDOT, they might already have, these new roads, I don't
Yeah.
wanna,
I
get tore
would-
up by a truck.
I would, absolutely. I would think that if there's already a sign there that says weight limit X amount, that they've probably already done a study. What I was thinking is that I could maybe email, what's the lady's name at PennDOT that, Stephanie, thank you. Yeah, see, we know the name, they just couldn't know the top of my tongue. Maybe ask her to say, are there roads, local roads in the borough that have been, already determined to have a weight limit? And so, then if we know that, then if PennDOT says that, we can hang our hat on that and move forward with it. So, I think that's a good thing to make sure we protect our roads, especially the ones that have just been repaved. But we gotta make certain that we, that we can't just do it, we need the protection to make sure we do it. So I'll make sure I email her tomorrow.
Is there a book with old ordinances in it?
There's all kinds of
You know when they put those ordinances in? Years ago, when Jack Maple and them wanted to put housing in, that's when our street got posted. They wanted to put, remember they wanted to put those housing? Oh, before you, yeah, I'm older than you. That's when they put them in.
What we're saying is
That's what-
that if you're gonna do this, you're
Be in the
gonna get a
eighties,
bond,
cause
you're gonna
we
enter
moved in
agreement
'82.
that says that you'll.
So to have,
fix our
I would say in the
roads.
eighties.
Even without a bond, you can find them.
Yes, you can do that.
All the same rules.
Yep.
Me?
One discussion, not multiple
Bud
discussion.
Rudolph.
You would think this would
Well,
be tied to, liquid fuel somehow, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily, not necessarily. Joe, I know more about this stuff than I ever wanted to. And a lot of this is gobbledygook
Yeah.
that I don't, it's not necessarily something that I am, don't get me wrong, I read the law, but, a lot of this is engineering information that I would hope somebody who has a specialty in that would know. I could do the ordinance and I could do things, but there's applications in here that talk about road types and bituminous roads and I hope one of you can figure out how to do that application, cause I'm not.
I'm not an expert, I stayed a holiday.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, so I could do an ordinance, I could do an application, but I couldn't tell you whether.
I definitely wanna get them no-through
Yeah.
trucks, we need to get them trucks from going up there.
Well, I think there's weight limit signs out
And there
there.
is weight limits, yes, so we need to follow through with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm on it, and I know we're moving fast because we wanna make certain that these roads don't get destroyed, so.
When we're talking about PennDOT, we've always had an issue since almost day one, where they refuse to stripe, Main Street from crossing the bridge the other bridge. So you have 88 that ends here.
Yeah.
And there's no sign, there's no double yellow line pointing out to where.
I know what you mean, yeah.
119, and it used to be years and years ago.
Is that a state road there?
Oh, yeah, there's the bridge.
See, I didn't either, because I don't know why I thought, but I don't know why I thought that, but I thought that after you got off the bridge, it became a borough road, and then when you got up to the intersection, then it became a state road again as it was 119.
88 and 119. But that one.
88 ends at 119.
Right. Oh, it doesn't end at the
Yeah.
bridge, it ends at 119?
Yeah.
I never heard tell that.
I didn't know that
That's the
either.
first I've heard that.
Yeah,
I always thought that was borough.
I always thought that was
In
borough.
front of
Yeah.
the old Klein building down here?
Because what I was thinking is that the reason why they don't paint it is because they don't think it's theirs. So, yeah, I'm no expert to tell you that that's a PennDOT or a state road, but, you know. But I have a couple things. Okay, what'd you, Jeff?
That's the PennDOT question.
Yeah.
Why aren't you striking that road?
Right. So I have a couple things regarding litigation for exec session, but otherwise, that was what I have of the 11 things I had for solicitor's report. And Anthony didn't keep me up for anything yet.
Anything else for the solicitor? Park, anything from the park?
Yeah, we have a bake sale coming up November 3rd in front of the bank. Also, the Community Foundation of Fayette County is doing their Fayette Gives. Riverfront Park Associates is part of that, and we are getting donations coming in under our name already for the Fayette Gives program, so we're really excited about that. That's all.
Speaking of the park, you know that power line that's like parallel with that road that goes down to the sewage plant? Like right along the trail?
I'm not really.
I was just curious. I don't know if it's active or not, if you touch it or what, but it's literally like a foot away from your head. It's drooping down pretty
It's on the
far.
trail?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like right by the old baseball field, the small one.
Well, when you talking about going down the dirt road, then.
Yeah, it's like parallel, but inside the park going down there.
Anything else from the park?
That's it.
There's one thing that you asked us.
I don't know if I had Zappia, but I'm not willing to test it and find out.
Budget.
Here's what we gotta
Yeah.
do. What happens is I have to file an ordinance if we're gonna raise taxes, and or I have to do a resolution if we're not gonna raise taxes. It doesn't matter, whatever you guys wanna do, but I have to have enough time to be able to advertise an ordinance if you intend to raise taxes. I don't know if
What
you do.
time does that need to be done?
What happened, I need to, what does it need to be done?
They did need like a timeline.
The tentative budget has to be accepted by the 1st of December, and then the final one by December 31st.
Okay, well, I'm working on
But as far as us getting these to where they need to go,
yeah, you're talking about raising or not raising taxes, so the budget, I'm working on the budget, but I'm adding things to the budget that we need to discuss because we need to do it. Then we gotta figure out a way to pay for that.
That's one way to go about it.
It's just like my boy, he says, I want to buy that dozer, I said, well, how are we gonna pay for it? You know, figure out how we're gonna pay for it, then we'll do it.
But the December 1 deadline is to have a proposed budget.
Yeah. Is it have that proposal?
Or posted, or what?
Pretty good one.
10 days, so the public can do it.
Posted for 10 days.
And so I would almost need to know if we're gonna do a tax increase, so if that budget would be based on a tax increase, I would have to have an ordinance advertised too.
So what day do you
Right,
need it
in
by?
addition to that. So
I would need it probably by next meeting.
So you need to write a resolution.
Well, no, if we don't raise taxes, I get a
So you
resolution.
need to write a resolution.
Then I need to write a resolution, yeah. Please, I don't know, I'm not saying we're raising taxes, please, I'm just saying what I need to do.
Or just a timeline thing, and so, I mean, if you gotta post an ordinance to raise taxes, that could be in our proposal.
Yeah.
That has to be posted for 10 days by December 1.
I would
We don't have
probably
to do
need,
one or the other.
yeah.
You can do them both at the same time.
I probably need to know what we're doing by next meeting.
Okay.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Well,
This is 2 weeks ago.
I'm not really getting discuss. Hold on.
Well, we can discuss it, that's what we're gonna do, yeah, but have it
Yeah, absolutely.
vote or finalize.
Well, what I'm saying is that we can discuss and I think we can get it worked out before the next meeting.
I hope so.
I don't see why we can't.
Yeah. Well, that would make sense to do if we can.
We should do it as early as possible.
Yeah.
But I just wanna make sure we operate within the requirements, the dates that are necessary, that we can't lose that.
And then within we do a resolution with no increase, then our proposed budget has to be approved by the council by December 1 and posted for 10 days. Is that how it works?
The tentative one.
Tentatively.
And then like say Cindy comes with an idea that something should be changed, and then you decide to change it, then the final one has to pass delegate first.
Do we have to advertise the potential proposed budget is being posted for 10 days? So that's advertising cost. And if we do an ordinance to raise taxes, that's an advertising cost. You're already building your budget.
No, you're telling me.
There's 2 advertising costs right there.
The next meeting's on the 10th.
It's not very far away, is it?
And we would approve the tentative budget by resolution.
Sounds like it.
No, that you can just make a motion to
Yeah.
approve it.
Oh,
Only if you're raising the taxes in the resolution. So that's the deciding factor, though, is the whole tax thing.
It sure is.
That's gonna be based on the budget, if we all agree on the budget.
Okay, I mean, we got our timeline, that's all I wanna make sure, whatever we do, we make sure we meet the
It's
timeline.
going by fast.
Yeah, and now we need that resolution on the minutes too.
'Cause what I'm thinking is, we get this budget, I write it out, everybody agrees to it, then we figure out what money we got coming in, and we see what the gap is, and we figure out, well, how can we cover the gap? And whenever we figure out where to cover it, that's the way we're gonna have to cover it.
I think one of the things we need to look at when it comes to
Was
looking
there
at
something we
revenue.
missed? Is there something that you wanted, we cut you off when we started talking about the budget?
No.
How much
I just
was
wanted-
done. Thank you.
revenue we received in 2024.
Is there an issue with posting?
That's double, so maybe, you know, what real estate, what current income. I think,
Oh, you got it.
I'd like to move it, I don't think it's good.
What's COA mean? COA?
Under unfinished business, can we all play on the same page here?
Okay.
The COA meeting discussion,
I believe that's what he's talking about. And that's the 10 o'clock, and he's doing, yes or no, but we're gonna get the guys off of the, where they have set up. And we've done everything they wanted to an extent, so.
So are we, meeting somewhere or are we
Actually, it's gonna be a fun meeting.
phone meeting?
Yeah,
that's what, for the COA?
I believe that's what we're talking about here. The COA, is that what we're talking about, Jack? The 10
Yeah,
o'clock meeting?
yeah. COA, we got 2 of them. And we're gonna meet on Friday
10 o'clock.
over the phone. I don't know what time.
That's what, this Friday?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's gonna be.
You set that up, Wendy?
I'm gonna email everybody tomorrow morning.
It's gonna be about the CSO, combined sewage overflow.
When's that one?
That's Friday.
No, Friday is about
Oh, Friday's what,
water plant.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Friday's water plant with John Thomas, Peter Bus, Aaron.
Yeah, now
Oh,
we're CSO meeting,
with Dawn, and
well, that took place last week and he's gonna get back.
yes. So this one's Friday where we gotta, hash out some details with them before we sign any kind of consent order.
Yeah.
And that's where you gotta be involved.
Okay. Who's Dawn?
Dawn was the, engineer from, for the CSOs on, from Gibson Thomas.
Okay.
He's on the sewage side. Peter Bus is on the water side.
Come on, any more questions?
No, I just shut up.
But,
What time Friday?
we don't have a time yet.
Well,
No.
it's 10 o'clock.
Do we have a time?
Yeah, well, that's what we're setting up for, because Aaron has to be done by noon. Aaron Sedin, he's off actually Friday, but he's gonna come into the meeting. So, we're gonna try to get everybody who has any information about any of this stuff, so we get, less we have to sign.
Well, yeah.
Can I meet down here with you guys?
That'd be great.
Are we,
Ten.
is they here?
Yeah.
Okay, so physically, they're coming here.
No.
No, it's gonna be on a telephone.
Okay.
I figure I could just come here and then
Yeah.
be trying to figure it out on the phone, I could just be here.
Doug, we
Can
can
we
put you
push-
in the office in there.
Can we push any sign things also until the first of the year?
Maybe we're try.
Oh, yeah, we can push things. I mean, right now, it's just an attentive,
It's tentatively,
yes, I mean, they throw this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta pay this, you gotta pay that. That's all, like,
It's a draft.
it's a draft.
Yeah.
So then you work with it from there. Right now, we're on a consent order where our guys are not allowed to leave up there.
yeah.
I want that done.
Sure,
I'll be
me
done
too.
with that.
Mhm.
Essentially, at some point, they could have an administrative law just into the order and then it's no longer a consent order, but as of right now, it's,
Well, they said if we don't get this, and that's why we're getting it, that they can do an objective order where we would have to, yeah, we don't wanna do that.
eventually they.
67 pages long.
Oh.
Nothing but a cut and paste job
Of
by
course.
some geek at DEP. And that's what we're gonna be meeting
Did
about.
you get that?
That'd be really cool, Jack.
Oh, they'll be all over. They'll be all over the page.
I see.
He's calling,
What
calling
that
the workers.
is that a lot of that stuff is gobbledygook.
Oh.
It just doesn't make any.
Well, that's why we need Peter Buss.
Yeah.
And that's why we need Aaron Savine. We know all of our engineers and all of our operators to be involved in this. Cause a lot of this stuff is already being done, or
Sure.
has been done.
Yeah.
So.
Firefighters workers for
Is there
Oh, I know.
a Bluetooth type speaker that will hook to a phone that'll amplify and pick up the sound? Does that exist?
My granddaughter has a little bear that you sit your phone in, it works really good. I just think it would look fun. It works.
Well,
We can borrow it.
And you need that in church.
Over the phone is really hard.
Yes.
Because, we've gotta figure out a way to deal with that.
That's one of the reasons why I wanna come here and then try to figure out how to do it,
Right.
and get into the,
I mean, can it be done like through a tablet or?
Yeah.
Like volume line?
like a Zoom call or
Figure that
something.
out.
Is it Zoom?
So it's just-
Is it just a Zoom meeting?
I don't know if it's Zoom or Teams or just a regular phone, we're setting all that up tomorrow.
Usually it's on Microsoft Teams.
Well,
John
anyway,
Thomas
something to
sends it.
think about. Figure out.
We'll know more about it tomorrow.
Is there anything else on the COA meeting? Do we have to talk about the other one? Jack?
Dominic from Gibson Thomas is working on negotiating a plan with DEP on our
On
on
the
our
CSO?
combined sewer overflows, CSOs. And I was telling Mitch today, because Mitch knows everything and works everywhere on this borough. But he doesn't know much about Morgantown.
No, cause that was really interesting.
So,
Really.
Morgantown has 41
CSO?
CSO outlets. So right up the river here, and that's not Westover, they have their own, just Morgantown. Combined sewer overflow outlets, they have 41.
Holy crap.
We get
Yeah,
seven.
that's,
Yeah, I guess right.
yeah, only when it rains.
Yeah.
So, someone could dive deep into that and find out what they got, how much they're permitted to
Right.
to throw in the river that comes down here, but my guess would be it's more than we treat.
Oh, I'm
here.
sure.
But that's a different story.
And that is West Virginia too.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal, they're not as,
This is close to us.
All right.
They're not strict.
Clean Water Act, I mean,
I
come on.
don't, I don't know.
Act 60.
Are they or not? Keep it down, really? Wow.
Act 60 firefighters, workers' compensation.
Yeah, the borough's been invited to participate in Spring Hill Township Budget Planning Meeting.
Wow.
And we're gonna go there on November 11th, and we're going to request that they pay their fair share for workers' compensation for our volunteer fire department personnel.
Wow, what a difference administration makes, that's a change.
So we'll see, you know,
It's not,
it's 2 years.
it's not a done deal.
I understand, but.
But it was recommended for us to go because they do wanna hear what Jack has to say about it, so that's a plus.
You're right, it's not a done deal, but from where we were, it's,
Oh, yeah,
wow.
that's progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hat's off to Jack, but he's ridden this horse from the word go.
Forward.
And I'm sore too.
That's right. I was worried about the horse.
Did you get anything I sent you today about the annexation or anything? Find out.
What about, oh, sorry.
Anything else? New business amendment of road paving ordinance.
Need to push that next time.
Road paving ordinance, what are we, is that some, did we already talk about that, or is that something different?
It's something different.
Okay, what's going on with that?
I'm gonna push it the next time. What I wanna do is I'm preparing a contract for us to look over, to bid out a contract, to do paving for all the roads in the borough. Basically, it would be a standing contract, so it would exclude any current dealings going on, such as gas companies or whatever. But what it will do is locks us into a contractor to give us a square yard or whatever price it would be, that if something was to come up, we were digging to a road and somebody would have to do our ordinance curb to curb, this company would then come in and pave it automatically. We set the time, we set the place, we set the wind, not to mention the fact that it's gonna give us a baseline on a cubic or square yard price, however it's charged. But then we could amend our road ordinance to be based on a per cubic yard price or square yard price, however it's done. And then, let's say that we're paying them 16, we're gonna charge 18, we're gonna make $2 in a yard or whatever it is.
How do we get around the bidding requirements then?
We're gonna bid, the idea here is to bid a yearly contract.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I mean, downfall on that, and I did think of this, is if the price goes up.
Yeah.
No, can't go
Well,
with,
wait a minute, you gotta set it with
it was set on a bid.
the asphalt company, because that's where it's gonna go up and down.
No, but that doesn't, you don't understand, like, if we, let's say we have, I'm gonna pick somebody. They may have their own asphalt company, that's up to them. Our price doesn't dictate or doesn't vary, they're guaranteeing us a set price from A to B, whether it's January 1st, to December 31st, whatever that time frame is of that year, that's a guaranteed price to us. It doesn't change. That's the way a lot of cities do it, and that's the way we should do it, because it guarantees us someone to pave it, and we choose when we pave, we choose that, they don't choose it for us.
It would work, especially for private development. I don't know if we could use liquid fuels for that. Or, you know, do our own internal liquid fuels process, but I understand what you're saying. We're gonna have a standing contract. You're gonna come in here and tear up the street, you know, excavating company X, Y, and Z.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't be able to use liquid fuels.
You're gonna pave it, the street.
We just went through
You're
that.
gonna pay us.
Yeah, we would have to.
And then we're gonna,
Yeah.
we have a standing contract with someone else, we're gonna charge you administrative fee.
Plus, you don't wanna be bidding out like every time, of all the time it
Yeah.
consumes to get there. I mean, that's a good idea if we can make that work.
There's some legalities that'll have to be figured out on a standing contract, right?
And it's gonna have to be in accordance
Yeah,
with.
I'm working on,
fuels.
I got about 27 hours on the contract right now, working on it, but I had it all together and it's all done, except I do everything in, on a Mac, and it's through Pages, so when I converted that page to PDF, the format just went nuts.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's just totally nuts, I'm just trying to clean it up, it's just taking me some time.
Get it, use a high schooler.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I gotta do it by backup, I mean, so that's what that is about.
Okay.
Okay, as we go down through the rest of the new business, we've touched on these, so.
Yeah. What are we talking about? License, we could do an ordinance to do a license for contractors within the borough, is that something, how much are we thinking?
Yeah, and that's another thing I was thinking about. If someone comes into the borough, right, and they wanna work here, like any city that I go into, any municipality, any borough, I gotta show them my state license, right? I gotta be, you know, my license in the state allows me to obtain a license in that district, in that area. We should have the same thing here. If someone comes in here and wants to put a roof on a house, do you have a contract, a license in Point Marion? No. Do you have a license in the state? No. Well, you can't get a license here. It helps us, and it helps us with protecting our residents.
License would be different than a permit.
Yeah.
This one.
It also helps protect our residents against scam
Oh, yeah.
from individuals coming in and doing A, B, or C.
We talked about discussion of land trade for development. Let me read this to you. A Pennsylvania borough can exchange real property for similar or more valuable property for municipal use, bypassing public video requirements through a council resolution. This requires public notice in a newspaper at least 7 days before the resolution is adopted. Excuse me. The exchange property must be used for municipal purposes, and if the new property is conveyed to an entity like a nonprofit, it may include a clause for property to revert to the borough if it's no longer used for the entity's purpose.
Well, do you want me to go into that a little bit, or
Yeah.
what we got, what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. I have basically worked out a deal with an individual that to trade the Blosser House for some 3 different parcels of land. This parcel of land is worth, to me, 10 times what the Blosser House could ever be worth. It's land that we can start to use to redevelop and build housing in this town.
That's not considered a public purpose though. Could be like for a park or municipal building or something like that, unless we're gonna own the houses.
We technically would own the houses, or not we own the land, and then we generate revenue off of each sale of each facility, of each entity.
I don't think we can do that, Anthony. That's not a public purpose. I'm not trying to throw monkey wrenches into everything, but I gotta solicit. It's my job.
That's why you're here.
So you're saying, read that to me again, if you
Okay.
don't mind?
It has to be a public purpose.
So
So,
a public person isn't redeveloping?
Pennsylvania borough can exchange real property for similar or more valuable property for municipal use,
Okay.
bypassing public bidding requirements through a council resolution. This requires public notice in the newspaper at least 7 days before the resolution adopted. The exchange property must be used for municipal purposes, and if the new property is conveyed to an entity like a nonprofit, it may include a clause for property to revert to the borough. It is no longer used for the entity's purposes. So, it's gonna be for municipal purposes, and municipal purposes aren't necessarily like, and I'll get a better definition. I'm not trying to throw a monkey wrench at everything, but when, just reading this right now, it seems to me like, what they talk about, like for taking laws, it has to be for the public use. It can't be for your use, it has to be, it's the benefit of the community to have a new road. It's the benefit of the community to have a playground. It's the benefit of the community to widen this road. It's the benefit of the community to build a new borough building or enlarge a park or something like that, or you know, I don't know if redevelop,
You don't know if redevelopment will be considered in that.
I will verify. Define, what is your definition of redevelopment?
Well, we have an opportunity to put up about 34, to allow a builder to put up about 34 townhouses.
Okay.
Each townhouse ranging around $300,000 apiece, which generates a huge amount of tax base and revenue for this borough, not to mention the earned income tax, et cetera, which we highly need.
I don't disagree, but I don't think that's gonna fly under the definition. I'll double check, but.
Part there that you read about
Yeah.
nonprofits.
Yeah. So, the exchange property must be used for municipal purposes. And if the new property is conveyed to an entity like a nonprofit, it may include a clause for the property to revert to the borough if it's no longer used for the entity's purposes. You have a nonprofit organization, you are,
Who's gonna build
you're
this?
gonna put a scroll, like for example, you see like, you see US Steel over, many years ago would give land to the patch for a church. And there's a clause in there that says if it's no longer used for a church, then it reverts back to US Steel. So we could say, we're gonna give this to, Anthony's gonna have a dog shelter, gonna let Anthony take care of dogs.
Oh,
And-
please,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just,
thank you.
and then, if he decided not to no longer do that, then the borough can say, we want the property back because you didn't do what you were supposed to.
If there's nonprofit, perhaps entities like Fayette Redevelopment Authority, nonprofit,
Yep, you're right.
Fayette, what's the other one they have, the other,
Yeah, resources.
Pay pen, yeah.
Faypen Redevelopment.
I'm just,
You've got a place called, it's an interesting place, I don't know much about, Threshold Housing.
yeah.
They're for profit.
Look, basically, I'm reading this off the internet that I just plugged in right this second. So don't, let me look into it, I'll have a
Yeah,
better.
also, while you're looking into that, and getting a new idea, Jack, what about, Fort Marion Redevelopment Housing?
There you go,
Authority?
Point Mary Redevelopment Authority, there you go. Let me,
1C3 on now?
there you go. Let me get you 100% answer for that one.
I mean, 'cause it's a shame not to
I understand.
take advantage of an
Helmet.
opportunity that I can firmly, put in a thing and say, hey, we don't need to raise taxes. We just built this stuff, these taxes are gonna cover us, this is great.
tell you what.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, housing, Point Marion, is key to developing Point Marion,
It is.
economically. You're never gonna have a McDonald's in Point Marion unless you've got a lot of people living in Point Marion.
Right.
That's gonna
Right.
be a McDonald's. Housing is first.
There's an article here about the High Powell swapped a piece of land with the Department of Conservation. That's an example of a land swap that they have.
Isn't the park under contract like that? That, who's donated to the land for the
It
park?
may be, I would have
Yes.
to take a look at the deed.
If it's never
And if
used,
it's no longer a park, it goes back to the
To the
Hoos
Hoos
family.
It'll never go back to them, they don't wanna dig it up.
Well, I'm saying, we're still in that
Can I
contract.
ask a stupid question from my own? You know, you're talking about properties where you can put these townhomes, however many you were saying. Where's this property at that you have at, unless it's right out here, but I mean, where's that much at? Where you can put that many? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, until a deal is done, I really can't divulge that. But I'd be more than happy to divulge that once, if we can get this worked out.
wasn't it in the interest of the residents of the town to know?
Yes.
Before, that should be public kind of knowledge here.
Well, you don't want somebody to come steal it from you.
Well, okay,
Way too close to get to
Okay.
that. We're too
Oh,
far
I'm
away
not
from
even
that.
sure we can do it yet. We're not even,
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying
That's
we're
not
not right, but I'm not even saying we get, I'm still trying to see if it's legal, so.
One more thing under new business is the internet switch to Vitalink, I don't, what's that about?
Did we ever do that?
No, no. I can remember putting on it before. This is
Crap.
$400 for crappy internet, it's not working.
Say again?
The internet, Freeline's expensive and it's not that great.
How much
To get in a position to where you're supposed to help the public, but instead you do it to benefit your own self.
Yeah.
That's a shame. And I hope everybody watching sees this.
I had heard about this,
What are you pushing for as power here?
and I know where it's going. Yeah, I know where it's going.
He's on that plan.
Not that anybody thinks it's going. No, going on the downtown.
Come up with like,
Yeah, right where their left one over there.
stick it on, put it on the agenda.
No.
next month, ready to go.
That's what I heard.
Like the exchange come down there, it's not nice from your car. They want $4,000.
Tell me outside. Tell me outside.
And you can put them all together and, get away with a couple of them.
So you don't have a copy of the contract?
I got pulled up to see when it's up.
So what I was told,
Mine's fiber optic. The new one's
Really?
yeah, mine's fiber optic, right? And Breeze line's not.
What brings, do we have Comcast, is that who we?
I have Comcast right there. Yeah.
I got Breeze Line's Ask your wife.
Yeah,
That's definitely complicated.
you better believe it.
Under, before we go into executive session, the two announcements, the Halloween parade tomorrow. Begin at 6 o'clock. And trick or treating Friday, October 31st, 6 to 8.
It's gonna rain Thursday.